Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening for some. Welcome to our first Sunday with Resilient Health Communities. For those of us who are joining us for the first time, Resilient Health Communities is a nonprofit created to combat cognitive decline and social isolation. So, welcome, welcome. So, I want you to get ready for a very interactive hour of brain health learning, connection, and brain boost practice. Now, before we begin, let me remind you, for those who are used to this, this is a reminder. For those who are joining us for the first time, get your pen and paper ready. I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that. I have mine here with me. I have a notebook, I have my pen. Make sure you get your pen and paper ready because in a few moments, we will practice our three brain boost habits. These are reading aloud, simple math done quickly, and writing by hand. But before we begin, as usual, we always do a check-in on our brain boost practice. So let's check in and see how we've been doing for the last month. So for those of you who have been practicing the habits, here's my question. Which practice have you used most since we last met? Where is it? Reading aloud, simple math, or writing by hand? Which of those three have you used most since we last met in July? So I would like you to write it in the chat, or if you're brave enough, just raise your electronic hand and let us hear about it. So go ahead. Yes, Alberta, please unmute and let's hear from you.
I've been doing number one and number three, reading out loud and writing by hand.
Thank you. Reading aloud and writing by hand. That
Those
is
are my
wonderful.
favorites.
Those are your favorites. Okay, let's hear from some others. Which of the three practices have you been using the most? You can write it in the chat if you don't want to let everyone, if you don't want to speak, so we don't force anyone to speak. Okay, someone says I'm not audible. Can you guys hear me?
I
Yeah?
Yes,
you well.
yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. So which practice is, I see Anne Phillips said reading out loud. That's the one that she does the most. Anyone else? For me, it's similar to Anne, actually. I actually do reading aloud the most. I have been getting my math up. So I'm happy about that. But reading aloud is the one that I do the most. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. Here's another question that I have for this one is for our brain health ambassadors. These are the individuals who completed the 6 or 12 week brain boost camp, brain boost boot camp, I should say. If you've gone through that boot camp and you received your certificate, then you are now a brain health ambassador. So, to our brain health ambassadors, how have you shared a brain health practice, resource, or conversation with someone? Have you done so, and how have you done so? Let's hear from you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Barbara, please go ahead.
Well, I have been writing and I have been reading and
Wonderful.
I've been enjoying every part of it that I learned about. And I'm looking forward to get together with a few people and have a little group and do something.
Have you, oh, that's wonderful. So you're planning to share with a group
Yeah,
to get together.
I spoke to two or three others and we are thinking of getting together and, eh, getting together and helping others.
Oh, that is so good. That is what we want here at Resilient Health Communities, right? We don't want to keep this to ourselves. It is too exciting. It's too good to not share. So thank you, Barbara. Anyone else? How have you shared what you've learned in so far with being a part of Resilient Health Communities? How have you shared a brain health practice? It may be one of the practices or resource or conversation with someone else. And that resource could be our online resources or just talking to someone about it. Yes, Alberta.
I was recently in Tobago for 2.5 weeks, and I've just been chatting since I visited one of my relatives who has dementia, and I've been talking about it, the program, to her caregiver and to others, people that I've been in connection with. So I've been talking about the program. It's just, and I was supposed to be hosting one in a community center, but somehow it didn't happen. But I've been talking to people about it, how important
Won-
it is.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's what an ambassador does. Thank you, Alberta. Anyone else? Have you shared with someone else uh, the resources? Yes. Okay, if you haven't, that's okay. Here's one way you can share. You can invite someone to the next first Sunday, right? The next first Sunday program, that's a month from today, the first Sunday of September. Um, invite someone. Once you get the link, share it with someone. That's one way you can share this platform or what you've learned so far with someone else. Um, Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Phyllis is saying that she's still not hearing. Phyllis, I'm not sure what to tell you. If you can't hear me, then I can't tell you what to do. But maybe someone could put in the chat what Phyllis could do. Maybe her volume is down, so she could try adjusting that. All right. So that is what First Sunday is about, right? It's about learning, using the tools, strengthening our own practices, and helping others do the same, right? So now that we've checked in, let's begin with a video that reminds us of the heart behind the work that we do. So I'm going to get my screen ready. I think I worked out all the glitches. And I will share with you a really interesting video. Let me get that up. Okay, I need permission to share from our host.
You should be able to, but did you?
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it now.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Did you know that multitasking reduces brain efficiency? The brain does not truly multitask, even when it feels productive. Hi there, I'm Dr. Charmaine Wood, and welcome back to Resilient Health Community's Brain Health 101. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that what we call multitasking is actually rapid task switching. Each switch requires the brain to disengage, reorient, and rebuild context. There's a measurable cognitive cost every time this occurs. In the short term, this slows processing speed and increases errors. Over the long term, frequent switching trains the brain toward fragmentation. Sustained focus becomes harder. Complex thinking feels more draining. And over the years, this pattern reduces cognitive endurance. The brain becomes practiced at interruption rather than completion, making deep work and learning more effortful than they need to be. Efficiency is not about doing more at once. It's about giving the brain enough continuity to organize, store, and use information well. Thank you for joining us for this Brain Health Nugget from Resilient Health Communities. We'll see you next time. Until then, remember to focus on one task at a time. Take care.
Now, this blew me away because I there's this innate feeling that you're doing more or being more efficient by multitasking. And this really blew me away that this is not good for my brain. So I am consciously not doing that anymore. Once it's almost habitual to do it. So now that I know this information, I am now putting that into practice. Can anyone wants to comment on what this information, was this new information for you? What do you think about what we just learned? Ketely, please go ahead. Please unmute and then let's hear from you. Kertily? Yes.
Yes, I fully agree because I have experienced it myself. Because this is what I've done all my life, you know, doing several things at a time. And I used to pride myself on that. But now I realize that it prevents me from focusing on something. So I need to give my full attention to what I'm doing. For example, when I put something somewhere, if I'm doing something at the same time, it's just like I had never seen that thing in my life. Whereas if I just consciously put it down and it has my attention, I know that I put it there, I will remember. But if I go and put it somewhere while I'm doing, it's just like I had never seen it. So
Wow.
I've been learning, and it's really true, and it works. I I have to unlearn
You
because it
have
was
to
so much
unlearn.
a part of me. I'm still unlearning.
Thank you, Kettley, for sharing that. What struck me is that it reduces cognitive endurance over time. So let's not multitask. Let's avoid it as much as possible. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Let's move on uh, for today's work. Today's theme is awareness. Awareness means keeping brain health in view and being intentional about what we do and what we know, right? Awareness. It means keeping brain health in view and being intentional about what we do and what we know. See, we regularly hear about caring for heart, monitoring blood pressure and blood sugar, moving the body, eating well, getting enough rest. And those things are important, very important. But the brain deserves the same intentional care because brain health is fundamental, it is foundational to all these other uh, ways that we care for our body. So for many of us, this is not new. And so together we are learning, practicing, and sharing brain health tools in our families and communities. Awareness asks us to keep using what we know, and it reminds us not to put brain health on the someday list, right? We can try to push it. I'll get to that someday. I'll get to that when I turn 50 or when I turn 60 or 70. It's now, right? So not put it on the someday list. It keeps awareness keeps brain health in view in the habits we practice, the health we manage, the questions we ask, and the connections we make. So this month, August, also gives us, in addition to focusing on awareness, it also gives us an opportunity to prepare for the return of September to remember. Who remembers that theme last year? September to remember. Can I see your hands, your electronic hands? September to remember. Yes. Okay. Thank you, RHC. So we're this month is giving us time to prepare for September to remember. So as brain health ambassadors, we can participate, invite others. That's one way of sharing resources, participation in the form of being a co-host. You can participate, you can invite others, and help make September to remember visible. Share it. Go to your WhatsApp or your chat list and just share it with everyone that you know because it's that important. We can help people understand that brain health is not something to think about only after a diagnosis or crisis. We don't have to wait. We have resources now that we can implement to keep our brains healthy. It is something, brain health is something we can learn about, care for, and support throughout life. Now, with that in mind, we are going to practice our 3 brain boost habits. So I want you to, at this time, welcome our co-presenters. Our first presenter is Alberta Cooley from Maryland by way of Tobago. She will facilitate the reading aloud practice. That will then be followed by simple math, which will be facilitated by Dr. Jean Richard from Tobago. And then writing by hand will be facilitated by Marilyn Prokop-Beckles. She's the chairperson of the Tobago Alzheimer's Group. So we'll start with Alberta, and I believe Merlene is going to work on have the get our videos all set up for us.
Thank you.
Is Merlene here?
I'm here. You want me to bring up the poetry now?
Yes.
Please,
Well,
thank
we're
you.
starting with the reading aloud. So that would be the poetry. Well, before we do Alberta, would you do the intro to this section, please?
Okay, just one sec.
Okay.
Would you like me to go through the script and then you can facilitate the reading?
Please, thank you.
Okay, so I'll do the script and I'll let you move from there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So I'm reading aloud. It is our first brain boost habit this evening. And it asks the brain to coordinate several activities at one time. We see the words, we recognize them and understand their meaning. We use the voice, we hear ourselves, and we remain focused on what we're reading. So when we read meaningful words out loud, we engage attention, language, expression, listening, and memory connections. We repeat this habit because knowing about a practice is not the same as doing it. Today, listen for a word or line that makes you think, remember, question, or see something differently. So you will see a short passage come up on the screen, and we're going to ask for volunteers and asking that you read clearly and confidently and let the words carry their meaning. So I'm going to let Alberta lead as I bring up the first poem.
Okay, thank you. This poem is entitled When Mrs. James Missed Her Turn. Mrs. James knew every bend and tight, the school, the market, and the square. But twice that week, she missed her turn and stopped, unsure why she was there. Her daughter did not scold or say, "It's age. These things just come and go." She listened, noted other changes, then asked her doctor what they might show. A missing word or misplaced key can visit any crowded day, but changes that disrupt routines should not be laughed or waved away. Some causes may be treatable. Good questions help make next steps clear. Awareness means we notice change, then seek good care instead of fear. That is a first poem.
Now, did you want to get volunteers for the other poems, the following poems, Alberta?
Yes, if someone would like to read number 2 poem. Is there anyone who would like to read number 2 poem?
But twice that week she missed her turn and stopped and unsure why she was there.
Just a minute, Linda.
Yes?
Sorry.
Just a minute. We have to put up the second poem. You're going to read the second one.
Here,
So go
sorry.
ahead.
All right.
You can go ahead now.
Is it the left side?
The poem on the screen, it's 2 panels, but it's
Okay.
start from the brain was missing from the list.
Okay. Buy greens, drink water, get more rest. She checked each item carefully and thought her health plan looked its best. But somewhere between heart and sleep, the brain had vanished from the page. The part that helped her make the list had somehow missed its proper place. So she read aloud, wrote by hand, and worked through simple sums with care. 10 minutes each for or 5 days. A steady practice she could sustain. Awareness keeps the brain in view through health and connection, work and play. We care for it throughout our lives, not only when concern appear.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Molly.
I had
Yes, Alberta?
trouble
Can
muting.
someone else read the third poem, please?
Okay, I'll read it, Junette. The hobby that kept calling. The paintbrush waited by the jar. The garden leaned against the gate. The half-done scarf remained convinced that one more row was worth the wait. A hobby asks us to remember, adjust, imagine, plan, and try. It teaches hands and mind together that one mistake is not goodbye. It may bring laughter to a group or quiet focus to a room. A song, a puzzle, thread, or soil can help an ordinary day to bloom. Return to what once brought you joy, or start the thing you set aside. Curiosity does not retire, it simply waits to be invited.
Thank you so much. Thank you. In reading these poems, did they bring something back to memory?
Yes, the things we check and realize that we didn't do, that we did, and when we thought we didn't do it.
Yes, yes. So this is what, reading aloud when your ear hear the words you're reading, it arouses the curiosity of the mind, the brain, and brings back memories from long ago. It can be any kind of reading. This can be your devotional, the Bible, other poems, any interesting book that you have that you can read out loud that will help to trigger memories in the brain. So thank you so much for, reading these poems.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So now let us move from language to logic with our simple math done quickly exercise. And I will hand it over to Dr. Richard.
Okay, so our second brain boost habit is simple math done quickly. Yes, simple maths done quickly wakes up the brain's executive systems. Focus, working memory, quick thinking, and mental flexibility. The goal is not perfection. The goal is activation. You may know how to solve every problem you see today. The practice is in asking the brain to retrieve the information and respond quickly. Now to practice. Have your pen and paper ready, and you will see time maths slides on the screen, and please follow these guidelines. Work as quickly as you can, and if the slide changes before you finish, just move on. If you finish early, use the Judith Becker's method. Start again in another direction, by row, by column, or from the last to the first. So we will practice for 3 minutes. So here it is that we have the screen. So we have 3 minutes. We start now. Time is up. Now, notice how your mind feels right now. Many people feel more alert after this activity, and that alertness is part of the brain waking up and working. And now we can shift from speed and logic to reflection, memory, and expression. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Richard. I think, I'm not sure if Marilyn is here. If not, I can move ahead with this section. Is that okay, Marlene?
Yes, that's fine. I'll be ready.
Okay, good. So, our final brain boost habit is writing by hand. And today we will use Resilient Health Community's own Power of 10. And you can find all this on our website. If you have not if you're not subscribing to our channel, this you want to do that today. You'll find all these resources. So we're going to use one of our Power of 10 prompts. The Power of 10 turns one meaningful question into 10 brain activating self-expressive responses. The first answers may come quickly and they're often familiar and easy to reach. But as the list continues, you'll find the brain reaches deeper. It searches memory, it organizes thoughts, shifts perspective, and connects ideas that may not surface at first. That is the power, and it is personal. Writing by hand brings together attention, memory retrieval, language planning, sequencing, and fine motor skills. It is a practice that we don't use very often today, right? Because we're all on our phones using these two digits. But writing by hand is actually does more for us for brain health. The practice is simple, but it is neither minor nor trivial. It is memory, meaning, and identity on the page. So, practice. Imagine that so make sure I know you have your pen and paper ready. So imagine the practice is to imagine that someone will open a time capsule from your life many years from now, right? What would you place inside so that the person opening it could understand something important about you, the life you lived, and what mattered to you? So let's see today's prompt. Merlene, can you put today's prompt up for us? Today's prompt is write 10 things that I would put in my time capsule of my life and why each belongs there. So imagine someone will open this time capsule many years from now. What are you going to put in there so that someone will know about you, right? Something important about you, the life you lived, and what mattered to you, right? So again, 10 things that I would put in a time capsule of my life and each one, why each one belongs there. Your time capsule might include a photograph, a recipe, a song, a book, a letter, an item of clothing, a family saying, a meaningful object, a symbol of your faith or culture, or a reminder of a person, place, achievement, challenge, or a personal award. And so for each item that you put in this time capsule, I want you to add a few words about why it belongs in the capsule. What does it represent? What memory does it hold? What would you want someone in the future to understand because you included it? Right? So again, the prompt is write 10 things that I would put in a time capsule of my life and why each one belongs there. I want you to write for 5 minutes. So let's go. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, I love this prompt. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So let's share. Who would be willing to share one item from your time capsule and tell us why it is in the capsule? Who would like to share?
I'll go, Marlene.
Hi, Denise, go ahead.
I put my Bible
Ah,
because it represents everything that I stand for and live for. So I think having my Bible would show what my faith was, the importance of my faith, and the priority that I placed on the Bible.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Denise. That is so important. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else who would like to share one item that you would put in your place in your time capsule that someone years from now, when they see it, will know something about you?
I would put my family, my children, my husband, of course, my Bible as well, and my siblings, because they mean a lot to me.
Good, good. That's similar to Sydney. Thank you for sharing that. I also would put a picture of my family in there.
This is Marilyn.
Oh, that's Marilyn?
Yes, Sydney's my husband. I'm Marilyn.
Marilyn.
Yes.
Marilyn Ray?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Marilyn, for sharing.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Okay, I see, Kathleen. Can you tell us one item that you would put in the time capsule and why? Go ahead, Kathleen.
I will put a picture of my first child, my first
Hmm.
daughter. I was very young, 20 years old. I was in a foreign country, no family, nobody. And I said, my God, when they gave me that baby, I said, what am I going to do with this baby? And I remember I used the book, I don't know if you remember, I think it was You and Your Health, something like that. I'll put the book next to me and I'll put the basin and I put the baby. And as I am giving the baby a bath, everything I check in the book to see if, well, we didn't have any internet to check. So I'm checking, I'm looking in the book to see if that's the correct way to do it, how to bathe the baby. And when I saw that Neville, did not come out, and I'm going around it very carefully. I am just thinking back to those days. And from now on, I have 5 daughters and 5 grandsons. That was a scary experience.
Thank you, Kettley. I am certain many mothers on this chat, on this platform, would identify with what you said. Thank you for sharing that very personal experience. Anyone else would like to share one item? We'll take one or two others if you're willing to share. What item would you place in your time capsule?
Photographs of my first trip to Europe.
Photographs of your trip to Europe.
Yes.
Go ahead, tell us why.
Because it was the most exciting, and I realized how big the world really is, and instead of just staying in one place, broaden my horizon of thinking and seeing different cultures, experiencing different foods, and everything else. So I'd put that memories of that, like photographs.
Absolutely. Traveling is big, big. And I'm sure others I could identify that. I said I will put my boarding passes in there because it's one of my favorite things to do, and it reveals my passion for traveling. So I completely identify with you, Wilton and Jeanette. Okay, let's get one more. Who would like to share one item that you would put in your time capsule?
If you don't have anybody, I'll volunteer.
Oh, is Lucille on or
Yes,
yes,
yes.
I think Lucille wants to share.
I would put, my name is Lucille, sorry.
Lucille.
I would like to put the my 12 siblings on the page, and about my first family reunion. And it was just awesome that 12 of us were together at the same time because it had never happened before.
Oh,
So that was a fantastic time for me.
thank you. Fantastic, and I'm certainly a blessing because
Yes,
not
it sure
everyone
was.
gets that
It,
opportunity to
yes,
meet with
it
all your siblings.
solidifies the relationship with my family a whole lot. Yeah, we
Absolutely.
are all very close knitted.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you for writing and thank you for sharing. Notice what happened in the room. Notice what happened. One person's photograph may have reminded someone else of a person they love. A recipe may have been brought back to memory. We haven't thought, no one mentioned recipes, but the celebration of having children, the celebration of family reunions, I'm sure we can all identify. And this is part of the power of this practice. Remembering, explaining, listening, and connecting through the stories of our lives. So at home, I want you to finish what your time capsule list and add more detail to each item or write the full story behind one item on your list. Now we will continue. We will actually close out. Today we practiced around a simple but powerful idea, which is awareness. Awareness can strengthen brain health. Awareness keeps the brain in view. It helps us remain intentional about the habits we practice, the health we manage, the knowledge we use, and the relationships we maintain. Together, we are not only learning about brain health, we are using what we learn. And as brain health ambassadors, we are helping others see that brain health can be supported through practical action and consistent practice and meaningful connection. So before we close, I'm going to give you a homework practice. And then after I give that homework practice, we will have Merlene. Merlene has some important announcements for us. So here's our practice for this month. Practice the 3 brain boost habits, which are reading aloud for 10 minutes, doing simple math for 10 minutes, and writing by hand for 10 minutes. And I want you to aim to do this 4 to 5 days each week. During one writing practice, make sure you go to the power of 10 in your 10 prompts. Write 10 things that you would put in your time capsule if you weren't able to complete it, and why each one belongs there. So include that in your writing practice in one of the weeks to follow. Okay. Choose one item and tell its story to someone. You might share it with your family member, a friend, a neighbor, a fellow ambassador, or someone from a younger generation. We want to get the younger generation involved. Your story might awaken one of theirs. In fact, encourage them to write their own story. And thank you for joining First Sunday with Resilient Health Communities. And keep brain health in view. Keep using what you know and get ready for September to remember. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where you will find resources for practicing. You can read aloud, you can use any material to read aloud. The writing by hand, you can find prompts on our YouTube channel. You will find prompts that you can write by hand for 10 minutes, and you'll also find simple math exercises that you can practice for 10 minutes each day. And I will now turn it over to Merlene and she will sign us out.
Okay, thank you, Marlene. Just a few announcements that I'm about to share with you all here on the screen. Okay, so that's where we started for today's first Sunday. And this is a part of our announcements. You're accustomed to hearing Rhonda. Just so you know, she is on a mission in Jamaica where they are sharing some brain health with a group that's over there. They'll be back August the 12th. And you may be familiar with the Brain Boost Catalyst training for our brain health ambassadors. I'm sure there are some of you here. August 13th is when we plan to have the next one. It's a monthly meeting for training. It'll be 5 p.m. Eastern and Caribbean time for Tobago time, I believe that is. And the Zoom information is down below, but you will get information about that as well. And the Brain Boost Boot Camp is planned for Tobago. A date will be set soon. I know some of you are in the WhatsApp group there is, actually, I'm going to put in the chat that link that you see down there that will allow you to add yourself to the WhatsApp group so you can get that information. So that's going to be happening in Tobago, middle of this month of August. And then back here in Maryland with East County in their community center, in the fall, they will be having a Brain and Belonging Boost Camp, Brain Boost Boot Camp. And the start date, actually, there's a kickoff date, as you can see there, September 1st, and the classes start this September 8th. And you all are familiar with signing up for that. The activity code and section number are down here. And I believe registration needs to be done by August 11th. So by next week, you need to register where you do that in the portal for doing that. This is for East County. And there is also one that will be starting in the fall for Mid-County. That will be Thursdays at 10 a.m. starting October the 8th to the 12th. And I believe for both of these, you need to register by August 11. So please get that done. And then we partner with Generation One. They're having an event on October 7th. And in order to register or sign up for that, please get in contact with Generation One. That's something that we've worked with them, and that will be happening. And so we know that Marlene already mentioned September to Remember, that September 6th, I believe, the first Sunday, of course, in September is going to be our next session. And for the rest of the year, we'll be having our first Sundays. And this is the information, as she also mentioned. We have many resources on our YouTube channel. You can scan the QR code there, or you can search for Resilient Health Communities on YouTube to reach our YouTube channel that has lots of resources. And lastly, we're on a cycle here. So lastly, I want to share something with you too, a little exciting information. I don't know if you all are accustomed to getting on our website, but we are revamping our website, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek at that just now. We're trying to make it very resourceful and interactive. So here actually is the link for those of you in Tobago that want to join the WhatsApp group. That is right there for you. And we're about to look at the sneak peek at our website. This is the Resilient Health Communities website. As I said, we try to make it interactive for you. Just scrolling through it quickly. It's not something you're going to be able to access just yet, but it is coming up. So it will give you the opportunity to do some practice. I'm going to go to start practicing. It gives you a page to do the practicing of the 3 habits, the math, the reading aloud, the writing. And I want to go back to home to show also that the events that we're involved in, you're going to be able to see them listed on the page as well, on our website page. So we have the Catalyst training here. We have First Sundays. This is today's, of course, and then you'll start seeing the ones for tomorrow. You can access us by email here. You can view, I believe this will go to our Facebook page. You can see our events from our Facebook page that are listed there. So that's just a quick sneak peek at what we have coming down the pike. I'm excited about it. I hope you all are excited as well. We love the YouTube channel. We're going to provide even more resources on the website. So thank you all again for joining us today. I enjoyed the responses to the prompt and the reading of the poetry as well. And so if we have no other comments, nothing else that needs to be added, I thank you again and have a blessed month. We hope to see you all for September to Remember.
Bye.
Thank you so
And
much.
keep
Bye, everyone.
practicing.
Keep
Bye.
practicing.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye, y'all.